Yes, guys. So today we are here with one of the OGs, Abdullah. Uh, really inspiring transformation from this guy. So why don't you take the floor and give a little bit of a background in terms of your fat loss journey? Because obviously it started years ago, being 120 kilos and then getting to a certain sticking point and then reaching out to myself and then finishing the job. Sort of like give us a little bit of a background on that because that was fascinating when we first started working together.
Yes, yes, pleasure doing this, Ocean. I would say my workout journey probably started in 2019. That's when I took it seriously. That was my highest weight. I went all the way up to 125 kgs.
Yeah, we'll
And
put some pictures up on the screen to show people because it's madness what it was. But yeah,
right.
carry on.
So around that time, I was really unsure of how to lose weight, and if it wasn't for a trainer, more like a friend that I had who really helped me get down to like 90 kgs or 95 kgs. And it's just
Yeah,
that belief that someone else had in me, and also someone to show me what to do.
yeah,
Made it a lot easier back then. And after I stopped working out with him. I kind of just stayed in the 90s, almost close to 100, but also stayed in the 90s myself, but all came all the way down to like 83s over the years. So like 2021, I was in the 83s, and it wasn't. I think around 6 months ago is when I met you, and you
yeah.
completely transformed everything from 83 all the way down to 70, being like my lowest, and properly like meal prepping and doing a whole workout routine and stuff like that. So
What would you say, like, what was it that made you like, because obviously you did great, like you got down to 83 kilo, 85 kilo, I think when we started. What was it that made you then be like, do you know what? Actually, I want to get to 70 kilos, you know? What was it that made you think like job's not done? Sort of that mentality.
for sure, yeah, it's just that I would say like doing it long enough, you get to know more of your potential.
Yeah,
And the longer I did it, the longer I was able to understand, like, okay, I'm better than this, or like I deserve more. And seeing,
yeah.
let's say, like seeing people get like crazy physique and getting their transformation, I feel like I deserved it as well. But another thing I would say is what really helped me is having someone, like I said, having like a connection with the trainer or someone that
No, 100%. Yeah, I think that's one thing that me and you like clearly got on very well. And that made a big difference, understanding each other's lives and stuff like that. Like the factors that we could put into place to help you like kickstart. Because obviously you'd done great, but you'd sort of plateaued. And then like what would you say it was that like made you reach out for that help? Like because obviously you've sort of done it before, but what was it that made you like get on board with myself and start that coaching process?
I would say it has to be trust. It has to be trust because especially with because me and you were doing it online, there
Yeah.
was a lot of factors like is this legit? Is this not legit? Is it gonna
Yeah.
be them scams? Like I got the blueprint, don't worry, and like you just keep on doing it until and not see results. But I just trusted the process, and I was like, well, what's the worst that could happen? Okay, I'll try it for a month and at least, we'll see where it goes. But I did it for a month and I saw like a huge difference. I saw like 5 kgs go down because I was at 83, right? So
Yeah. Yeah.
um, it was legit. Like I knew there was no scam and it was just like I have to stick to the plan. And as I stuck to the plan and I would say having someone professional, especially at this last stage, right? Or even at the stage that I was back when I was my highest weight, like 125, having someone that knows what they're doing is a lot better. You could do it yourself, but it's like if you want to learn how to play piano, like it's gonna take a lot longer. And everyone wants to lose weight quick, right? What does someone ask you how to lose weight quick? What's the best diet? Like they want a life hack, get a trainer. That's
Yeah,
it.
that's it. That's it. It's about finding like a plan that we could stick to for like a sustained period of time. I think that was, I think a big thing for you was also because like you'd seen the results on my page, but you also knew abs, didn't you? So like I think that like was another thing that like you're right online. It's like, oh, is this a scam? But obviously you knew abs. You'd seen all the results. So you were like, do you know what? Let's give this a try. And then you did it. And obviously first month you got off to a flyer, and then 3, 4 months on top of that, and we managed to get down to 70 kilos, which was fucking incredible. So what would you say like first impressions? Because obviously you said like you the trust wasn't like obviously at first you didn't know like you thought this could be a scam, you know? Like what was it like the first impressions, like the first few weeks? Like talk us through that. Like what did you think of it?
For sure. As far back as I remember, it was in October when I first started with you, and
Yeah,
the first few weeks was kind of like trying to understand what you're trying to get me to do. It was a lot of send videos of the gym where you're at, and send videos of everything you're eating on a regular basis. Order this from Amazon, like a weight scale, and order some like gym straps. And I was like, okay, well, this is different. I've never done this sort of like, let's say, training, or I've never had a trainer ask me to do this level of, I would say, preparation just for my health. So it felt more, I would say, like overt. It felt like you were really watching me, even though you were online. And from that point or onwards, it felt like a personal connection. You know, if it didn't really feel like, hey, if I felt like cheat or if I don't do this, like I felt bad. I just felt guilty because I was like, there's so much being put into this. You know what I mean? Like
I
this
think
guy, like every day he's on me, and I have to like, show up.
it's that daily accountability. But I think like one of the big things, like, don't know if you remember, do you remember like the first deadlift video you ever sent me? And then like we'll put some training clips up here because your training was really not good at the start. But then by the end, it was like that's what like builds a physique, you know? And like I think that's the concept that is so important, especially like with online, is like making sure you're improving your training. So talk about that because obviously when you first started training, it wasn't great. Whereas now, like you're looking around the gym and probably you're almost looking at people being like, right, you need to do this. Do you know what I mean? Like sort of explain a bit about that.
100%. Yeah, like um talking about like the actual workouts that you got me doing in the start, I didn't know how to do it properly, obviously. And not having like a person there telling you how to do it was harder. But that's where the video feedback comes in. So I would record myself. Let's like you sure you could show a set of like me doing the
Yeah,
deadlifts, but doing
yeah,
the deadlift and my chest's not straight, my back's like all the way down. And on top of that, like I'm using lighter weights, so I'm like actually just walking around with the deadlifts,
yeah,
which was a
nice.
funny moment. And
Yeah,
I remember you sending me the voice note saying like, "Hey mate, like this is what are you
yeah,
doing? Like you shouldn't be able to walk around." And I increased the weight, but yeah, like the more I did it, my form got better, my tempo got better, and it helped with your training videos as well. Like you had them
yeah,
tempo videos, all the workouts, they had like a small like a explanation video next to it, which was, I
yeah.
would like start just
Oh,
really locked in. But
yeah,
by then, like I don't really watch the videos anymore. Like I've gotten used to or my body got used to, how to do it. My form
yeah.
got,
Better,
locked.
100%. What would you say like were some of like the biggest changes in terms of like education, but like nutrition, daily habits, mindset, like how you managed to sort of like it wasn't just like obviously the coaching process is more about like educating you so you're like set up for life. It's not just a short-term thing like we want you to now maintain this result. We don't want you ever back at like 100 kilos. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. I would say if you're asking like what's the hardest about this or the most challenging aspect, right? Is that where we're trying
Yeah.
to
Yeah, like or like what do you feel like you've learned now that you didn't have a clue about at the beginning of the coaching process that you've like implemented into your daily life?
No, for sure. I would say first of all we'll have to start with the nutrition, right? So like
Yeah.
self like understanding your body, right? Um and working on a calorie surplus or deficit if you're trying to lose weight or gain
Yeah.
muscle. So that's the most important thing. On top of that, like you could be trying to like check for calories on your food yourself, but it's better to have someone who's professional doing it. That's what like. I could try like guessing, hey, this is healthy because it has some chicken and rice, but you don't really know what's up. Like a trainer knows what they're doing. So I would say like food, and second things like workout plans. Like there's a lot of different ways to gain muscle, doing like going in the gym and doing stuff. But I would say like someone who's done it for longer probably knows what exercises are better. And from what I'm understanding from this workout program, it's like a lot of the exercises I'm doing are just basic exercises, right? So it's like
Yeah.
basic shoulder presses, basic chest presses, like bicep, tricep, and
Well,
that's what.
we were just doing like a full body split, like three full body sessions a week. That's all you needed to do. It's not there's no like special bodybuilding, arm day, chest day. You know, it's like it's very simple. It's like just free. It's not like you had to sacrifice loads of time. Like I think you were doing like an hour and a bit in the gym 3 times a week and then a bit of cardio as well, like which obviously worked up over time. But in terms of like commitment, how did you find like were you shocked at almost how easy it was to lose weight, to train, like considering the crazy change that your body went through?
100%. That's one of the reasons I say this is it felt quick because it
Yeah,
was easy. And the reason I guess it was easy is because every aspect of my day was perfect in terms of losing weight, right?
yeah, yeah,
The food I'm eating is slow, and the working out I'm doing is perfect. Doing a full body day and doing some cardio on the other day, having like 10K steps every day, getting 8 hours of sleep, like cutting out on the sugar, cutting out
yeah.
on all
I
the
think it's a big thing is like just having the clarity of right, this is what I eat every day, this is the cardio I do, these are the steps I do, this is the training I do. You did that for the 3 4 months and you managed to lose the 15 kilos, whereas before you were sort of stuck and plateaued, probably trying out different things, not being consistent, and then we put a plan in place, we adapted it over time, and you were able to sort of get that result that you probably thought wasn't possible. And like how does that make you feel like how do you feel now that you're like you are 70 kilos, you are in really good shape. Like, what are sort of the cross benefits that have given you in your life, if that makes sense?
Yeah, I would say one of the big things it's giving me is like confidence to lose weight in the future, right? So
Yeah,
before it doesn't feel like this is like a one-time thing. It really feels like like knowledge has been put in place. Like I understand now in the future, like if I do get, if I do like if let's say if I get sick and if I can't go to the gym for like a month, 2 months, or life just gets busy, right? Me being a college student, like I had finals recently, so I was like kind of
yeah,
just I couldn't really work out too much. You have to deal with stress, trying to find a job. So all of that stuff, if you know you're like kind of away from the gym, I don't have to worry too much because I know like how do I get back in? Like I know
yeah,
exactly what I need to do. Get back on the dieting, do my steps, do my cardio, and just do some muscle training. That's it. And in terms of what I eat, like the knowledge, like the stuff you taught me, like we need some proteins, we need some carbs, be on a
yeah. I love it.
deficit. You know what I mean? Like weight
Yeah,
yourself every
100%.
morning. The
Yeah,
waiting yourself every morning is like a good way to keep track.
yeah,
I,
100%. I think that's where people go wrong. It's good because it gave you that accountability every day. You know, every day you're like, right, I'm stepping on the scales. Am I making progress? Which was really good. And like, talk about like obviously like your body's changed a lot. Have you been getting compliments from people? Like what? Because obviously your family are back in Pakistan. I know you haven't been back yet, but in terms of the your brother and stuff like that in Canada, what's like the reaction been from people?
For sure. Yeah, no, 100%. Even though my family is back in Pakistan, they saw videos and they saw pictures and they were really surprised. They were like, "Wow, you've really reached a healthy like level." Before it was like, "Yeah, you got thinner."
Yeah,
This stage, like getting down to 70, it was more about like, "Wow, you really look lean and you look shredded and you look like actually healthy." And part of my whole journey was I didn't want to be like a skeleton skinny
yeah,
face.
yeah,
And I didn't really get to that fully, but just my family seeing me at this stage, with like proper muscles, like my arms are more defined and my shoulders are more broad and just things like that. They saw pictures that they could definitely tell like I lost a lot of weight,
yeah.
especially face. And I got a lot of compliments. And when I saw my brother as well, he showed me a lot of respect, especially my friends.
Yeah,
Um,
love that. Absolutely love that. Like,
Definitely
and
felt more confident as well, like just walking around and knowing like any shirt I wear, like everything is good. Your mind's in a better place, right? So
yeah, 100%. And like, because obviously as well, during the 4 months, like you had a lot of like Ramadan went on, you had lots of exams, you were traveling, you had like quite a lot of like issues with housing and stuff like that. Like, there was quite a lot of issues that went on, but during that whole time we managed to stay on track. What would you say like were like the key factors that helped you like always like every week you made progress, even though loads of stuff came up and like what would you say like was key in that sort of process?
Most definitely, I would say the key aspect was training every day, like consider not
Yeah,
missing a day of training. Like even if someday I would eat something more than I was supposed to from my nutrition plan, is that I didn't skip gym. That's
yeah,
one thing I never did. And maybe it's because I've been gymming for so many years that in the start, like gym was kind of a boring place to me. And like I just went there inside the building, didn't really do too much, probably worked out like 30% of my energy, like didn't go too hard, left and felt good about myself, like back in the start. And as I started working out more, it's like if I'm giving 110% today, or if I'm giving like 100% today, tomorrow I'm expected to be giving like 110%. Like that was the mentality. Like I would want to do better each day.
yeah,
And and especially recently, like over the times, like the workout that you gave me, like I've seen myself like get stronger on those same
yeah.
exercises, like being like doing 60 pound dumbbells, like 30 kg to like not doing 50 kg like dumbbells for like, like my
Yeah,
arms.
strong.
So
What
seeing
would you say like to someone who's like on the fence about thinking about doing a transformation journey like yourself, like maybe doesn't have the belief of thinking that it's for them? Like, what would you say to them? Like, almost what would you say to yourself when you were 120 kilos? You know, what would your message be?
For sure. Yeah, no, 100. I would just tell myself like it's super possible. It might seem like it's not possible, but it's super possible. Just get someone who actually help you who's dedicated to like seeing you seeing you in let's say like in the place that you want to see yourself, who
Yeah,
knows how to get you there. And on top of that, think of it this way. If it took you, let's say you're 18 or 19 years old, if it took you like 18 years to get that fat, it's not gonna take you 2 months to get thin again. Like even if it takes 2, 3 years, it was 18 years of hard work. That's what I tell my friends.
yeah.
So if you're really that big, expect for it to take like a year and 2 years for you to really lose all that weight and do a complete transformation.
Yeah, I think that's the thing as well. Like for like you, people maybe don't see like what you were like 5 years ago. You know, they sort of see the short change and they don't realize how long it's really been and the amount of commitment it's taken. Which is like
Right.
just credit to yourself.
No,
Um,
thank-
so yeah, mate, honestly, it's been an absolute pleasure, and I'm now more excited for like the next phase in terms of like just working on building on your physique and building more muscle. You know, reversing out of the diet properly, and then that sort of phase. Because like you say, it's almost like now it's a lifestyle. It's like, but there's always different phases. You know, you finish your diet right now, we're going to reverse out, and then we might diet again, and it's almost that continual pursuit of like never being satisfied. I mean, you like, you know what I mean? Like you're proud of the
Yeah.
work that you've done, but the job's not done because there's always continual progression. Um, so like with regards to like the next stages, like are you looking forward to the future, like putting on more muscle and stuff like that?
Oh, most definitely. Like now that like I said before, like the more I do it, the more I know my potential.
Yeah,
So sometimes when I see myself in the mirror, I'm always like critiquing myself when I'm looking myself in the mirror. But when I take a picture and I look at the picture later, I'm like, whoa, I actually look good in this picture. So it's like being
yeah,
hard on myself, like noticing every small thing, like okay, my this part of my muscle could be a bit bigger, or I think my chest looks pretty good. But let's say like sometimes I'm like, nah, it could be bigger. My abs, I'm like, my abs should be more defined, right? So
yeah,
it's there's always, not that I've like taken it to this extreme level, I would say. Now it just gets only better. Like the knife only gets sharper, I would say, right? Like
yeah. And I think like the thing is as well that was most impressive during your like you were still able to socialize, you know, you were still able to go out with your friends, still able to eat food sort of that you wanted. Obviously we had to restrict it at the end, but like you were still able to get takeaways every now and then, still able to like not make loads of sacrifices, which for me is like so important because I think that's why our journey was successful because you could still have that balance. Look, you're in uni, you know, you're a student. You're not going
right.
to be, you're not a bodybuilder. So like, what would you sort of say to people who are like, oh, I don't have the commitment, I can't make the time, I've got too many things on. What would you sort of say to them who use that as an excuse?
I don't know. I would definitely be them because that was me as well. In the start I was like, is this gonna be a lot of work? And will I not be able to eat like the takeouts and the college shit that I like doing? But to be honest, like in my first, I would say first month or 3 months, like I still had takeouts and I still had stuff. I still had like order ins or deliveries, and
Yeah.
but I wouldn't.
It was just about being smart with it, wasn't it? Like we made a plan where you could still get them takeaway foods, but then we'd like just pick the smart options. Like we wouldn't be going crazy. We'd put protocols in place so that you could still have that extra food, but then you'd maybe do a bit more cardio, or you just pick smarter options and stuff like that.
I mean, it was a bit of that, and it was a bit of also like me testing myself. So let's say like if I'm on a week of whatever you told me to eat, right? You're like, okay, have this for dinner, have this for breakfast, have this for lunch, and maybe those days, most even till now, I always skip lunch. I'm gonna start implementing that. But for the past 6 months, I didn't do lunch, so I
Yeah,
was like, okay, I know I have let's say like another 600 calories. So
yeah.
even if I am eating something that's out of my like
Budget.
diet, I wouldn't
Yeah,
feel too guilty about it, but I
yeah,
wouldn't do it every day. Like now that's unreasonable. I might do it, let's say like 2 days a week out of
yeah,
7.
exactly.
But I'm like working hard. I might work a little bit harder on cardio, and I'm still losing like 2 kgs that week. So I
Yeah,
would I would be fine with it. Like I don't
100.
think it's the world that for sure, man.
So what would you say, like wrapping this up, like what would you say to people who are like considering coaching, they're on the fence, like, oh, is this for me? I'm not sure. What would you sort of say to them?
No, for sure. I would say like as long as you believe in yourself, in terms of the other person, whoever the trainer, just let's look into them, look into what they've done, have a chat with them, especially if what made me want to go forward with this was the actual like the call that we had. We had a free call, and
Yeah,
you ran me through everything. So talk to a trainer, talk to you, and just try to understand like what they're gonna do, and just go forward from there. Like the longer you wait, the longer you're gonna just stay the same, right? And you especially now with social media, like every day you see these influencers like with their crazy physiques, and you dream of being like that one day. But like I said, the real cheat code is having a trainer, because you could try doing this yourself, and I've done it myself. Like it just delays the process because you're not knowing what you're doing. You're not accountable to someone, and it's not as proper as legit it is with having a trainer. That's my honest like that
yeah,
I have
no,
100%.
absolutely. So yeah, we'll wrap it up there. But that's been an absolute pleasure. What would you like to give yourself? Where can people find you on Instagram and stuff like that?
Sure. I'm a filmmaker, so if you want to see that on my films, short films coming
Nice.
soon, check out underscore Abdullah Zafar underscore. That's me at Instagram. And yeah, I'll be posting more fitness content as well.
Love that.
Feel encouraged, inspire people, especially at my age. I'm just turned 22, and I feel like these are the prime young years. So if you're living these years, not in your best physique, you're doing something wrong. So yeah.
100%, brother. 100%. Right. Well, I'll end the recording there. All right. Let me end it.